organizing the Nigerian election, bringing you political news in a channel format. Kyerematen has selected Kwesi Bra's son-in-law as his running mate in this coming election. Please watch the backstory.
The Electoral Commission is receiving the nominations for political parties and parliamentary candidates. Is going on all over. I think it's ending tomorrow. And we know that Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia took advantage of the first day and went to deliver his forms to the EC. Between now and then, the EC are going to be reviewing the documents and check the qualification criteria. The danger for political parties like this is that because they are not well spread across the country and don't have offices, they have to go through very painstakingly to get people who are unblemished. Now, unblemished means that the person who signs the documents for them ought not to have signed for any other political party, whether NDC or MPP. Often, that's the problem they always have, because the MPP and the NDC have offices across the country. So constituency representatives and polling station executives have the mandate to sign the form for the presidential candidate. That's very simple. But if you are Fafranton, you don't have community representation on all the 100 and something communities across the country in the districts, then you're going to have to rely on people that you may not directly know. What happens sometimes is that when these people have signed your document for you, after you have compensated them, or when the compensation is agreed upon, it turns out that by the time your document gets to EC, some of these people are either not registered voters, their name is not on the voters roll, or they have filed for they have used their signature for another political party, maybe NDC or MPP. That's always the case. And the Electoral Commission will look at the first in time. If he signed for the MPP before he signed for you, the one he signed for the MPP will be deemed valid by the Electoral Commission, and yours will be deemed invalid. But we pray that all candidates will do a good job and get the Electoral Commission to approve their nomination documents. Alan Kyerematen here, Kwesi Pratt Jr. in the middle, and then Kwame Usu is a young man who's just started. He's a barrister. He works at Pan African TV. I'm not sure whether Kwame Usu is even a politician. I didn't know that he's a politician, but yeah, that he's a public person. I think his profile says that he's a former hip life artist, something like that. Yeah, that's also in his profile. So that's what we know about Kwame Usu. And he's married to Kwesi Pratt's first daughter, the indefatigable Ama Pratt. And Kwame Usu and his wife Ama Pratt both lead Pan-African television, where they have been doing an excellent job.
Just as the election is drawing closer, just few days, yeah, we can actually call less than 80 days to the election. A lot has been happening as Kyerematen has actually selected his own running mate. The person he selected is actually Kwesi Bra's son-in-law. And people are beginning to talk like he is actually, maybe one of it is not so much available or ready for this position.
I reckon. And it's Kwesi Pratt's son-in-law, and it's not just Kwesi Pratt's son-in-law, it's really Kwesi Pratt's copy. I mean, you hardly see Kwesi Pratt without seeing Kwame Usu these days. Over the last 2 years, they're always together, they do things together and all of that. So Alan Kyerematen could not have made this decision without Kwesi Pratt's influence in the matter. Now, why is Alan Kyerematen looking for Kwesi Pratt's influence to choose a running mate, or why is Kwesi Pratt interested in influencing the choice that Alan Kyerematen makes for running mate? Alan Kyerematen is never going to win this election. It's never going to happen. He's not going to win this election. We've said that over and over again. And we told you that when the campaign starts, people will forget that Alan Kyerematen exists. Today, Alan Kyerematen is supposed to be the one, as an independent presidential candidate, who should have the policy ownership. That's what independence. Do you remember Dan Lartey? Those of you who are old, he told us domestication. Dan Lartey won on the policy on every election that he contested it. People knew that Dan Lartey was not going to be elected, but everybody is stuck in everybody's head that Dan Lartey represents domestication, and that was very important. What's his name? PNC presidential candidate, Dr. Edward Mahama. He also, when he ran as a, for want of a better word, a French candidate, let me say that, as a French candidate for the PNC, because they are not one of the big political parties, he always owned the national health insurance policy. Edward Mahama had been talking about national health insurance in 1996 campaign. In 2000 campaign, I personally questioned him at the CNN presidential debate held in Accra, here at the conference center. I was one of the questioners, and my question to him was about policy. There again, he said national health insurance. So when John Kufuor did the national health insurance, the MPP were able to concede that this national health insurance idea is from Edward Mahama. So Edward Mahama also owned the policy conversation. Now, to be a revolutionary candidate, new candidate coming up, new things, and up till today, 2 months to the election, where is Alan Kyerematen's policy initiative? Zero. That's not great. That's not great for Alan. You may not win the election, but if you're an independent candidate, you are expected to provide the campaign with the oxygen that the main parties don't bring, which is the thorough thinking of policy. That's what independent candidates do. As for the big parties, they are big. They are going to run on slogan. The other day, the NDC were doing an umbrella challenge. They said, put your umbrella challenge. And I don't know what happened on social media. There was a contest. NDC and MP people were fighting on social media. NDC said, umbrella challenge. So they hold umbrella, they take picture. Umbrella challenge, they take picture. NDC, MPP were clever. They came back and said, policy challenge. Write your 3 top policies. So people wrote free SHS, and then quickly the umbrella challenge died away. Because, you see, young people are coming. The world is developing. Political campaigns in Africa must change. It must be about substance. And that's what the young people are demanding. So the NDC's umbrella challenge whittled away quickly. They dodged, they ran away. What are you talking about, umbrella challenge? People are looking for what's the future.
A lot is actually happening on that. But the thing is, everybody actually know that Kyerematen is not going to win this election, no matter the devices he uses.
Of Ghana, what are the political parties saying? What does this say? When they say umbrella challenge, they take picture, but they can afford that. Big parties can afford that. But if you're a small party, you have to have a policy initiative. You have to be leading. So I don't know what the choice of Kwame Nkrumah is going to do to the Alan tickets, but as you saw somebody write, he said that Alan is a can, blah blah blah. I'm quite disappointed about the way the Afrafranto campaign has gone, and I think it's because people that Alan Kyerematen were hoping he could rely on, he couldn't rely on them. The people he thought he would rely on, they saw that the MPP is a better haven, so they are all in the MPP. The young people, Adenta Kumi and co, who were following him, they've all left his party. They've all gone back to the MPP, as they say, after hearing Baomia's message. So it's a very complicated situation for Mr. Kyerematen, who was, before this Afrafranto situation, put in the light of one of the most important politicians in Ghana, one of the politicians that people thought they could have hope in. And Alan has had the opportunity, without the baggage of a party, to put policy initiatives before the Ghanaian people. It hasn't come. Maybe it's going to come, but it's 2 months to go, and he's been at it for almost a year. 2 months to go. Nothing on policy. What is going to happen to the economy? What's going to happen on transport? What's going to happen in energy? What is Alan Kyerematen saying? Nothing. Oh, I'm so disappointed. I'm sure it's going to come. I'm sure it's going to come. I would like to err on that side. It's going to come. John Mahama has introduced, he has an event this week where he's talking about energy and he's meeting the energy people. So this is the story. So Kwesi Pratt is on the Afrafranto ticket. Afrafranto ticket is not a winning ticket. So maybe it is to facilitate or to undermine. Facilitate a party winning or to undermine another party winning. I shall not say much.
It's actually headed from the horse's mouth. And people are beginning to understand that Kyerematen and Butterfly Party are not really well equipped. Maybe because so many persons left his party when they saw that he didn't bring enough policy, and Dr. Bawumia actually brought so much solution policy, and they defected back to the MPP where they were originally inbuilt. Please do well to like, comment, follow, put on notification so you get all our news one by one. Thanks, my people.